if you had to only pick 2 fishing poles or 2 fishing techniques right now to go to the lake, what are those 2 techniques? What are those 2 rods? Those 2 baits? Guys, I heard this on a podcast, a couple podcasts recently, and it started making me think, like, if I only got to pick 2, what are they? And guys, this really kind of goes into different situations, as in, are you running the trolling motor? Are you fishing as a co-angler? Are you fishing clear water? Are you fishing muddy water, a river, highland? I mean, guys, there's so many factors to picking 2. But let's say you don't get to know and you get to just pick 2. Makes it pretty tough. So that's today we're going to talk about. And I want you guys to be a part of this. Leave me your comments. Let me know your 2. Guys, I'm going to do it from the perspective of, I'm going to share my 2 kind of ideas. I say 2. I'm going to give my 2, but I know, like, if I'm a co-angler, it's not going to work. So I'm going to mention, like, hey, if I'm a co-angler, what I would probably do 2 or back of the boat. But guys, and let's just say depending where you're at. So I just moved, guys, more towards I'm in Hot Springs now, Lake Ouachita to Gray, Highland Reservoirs. I also, though, got some areas where some stained muddy water is, like towards Arkansas River. So I kind of have some different factors. But my 2, okay, I don't really know it's hard. I really don't know it's hard. Like, one that's easy would be like a shaky head worm. So here's just a shaky head, okay? Like a shaky head worm. Spinning rod, man, that's going to catch fish. I don't care if you're in the front of the boat or the back of the boat. Another one that I would have some confidence in is, like, for example, a lipless crankbait. Okay, something you can cover a lot of water with, catch a small fish, big fish, can fish both scenarios too. Now, guys, where I lived before, though, there's like a lake down there to where, like, I mean, it's a shallow lowland reservoir, muddy. I mean, all you need is a Texas rig. And guys, there were years to where, like, that Texas rig creature bait was right here. I'm talking every fishing trip. And I've caught a lot of fish with it. And that's one cool thing about this video and about this right now we're about to talk about is there's so many options. Guys, I mean, are we going to throw big baits? I'm about to talk about big baits. Okay, big baits is going to be one of my 2 as well. Guys, I mean, a crankbait. I mean, there's so many options, right? So many options. A bladed jig even. And so as I think about it, like, each year, guys, as I go through my years, go through the fishing seasons, it's like you have your seasons of, like, this is the lure. This is the lure. And it kind of goes with confidence of you catching fish. And so I'm going to pick my 2 baits currently off of right now what I have confidence in and kind of more towards my style of lakes, okay? But I might go into some other factors as well. Guys, before we kind of get more into this, I'm just going to share, I have my podcast, Real Life and Fishing. My recent episode was with Randy Blockett. Guys, it's a great one. You're not going to want to miss this one. I mean, I say you're not going to want to miss it. This is a different episode than what Randy's been on. Randy's been on podcasts where he does debates lately. It's been debates of live scope, this, that, whatever. Guys, this podcast was not that. This was more to get into Randy, have him share stories, get into him, and man, we had some great conversation. So guys, on my 2 lures, okay, like, I mean, look, I got another glide bait here, and then I got my big spoon, okay, guys, and then I got my little shaky head. There was a year the Magnum shaky head was my lure. So guys, my 2 lures, I'm going to pick one that's considered a small lure, a finesse presentation. And then my next one is going to be more of a big bait. Okay, big bait. And I'm doing this because it just seems like lately with the fishing pressure, and I don't, and fish changing and just all is changing. And this too, forward facing sonar is a part of it too, okay? And that's another thing. Do you have forward face sonar or not? You might want to pick your lures without it. I want to hear, guys. I mean, if you're fishing from a canoe, tell me your 2, okay? But I'm picking my 2 off of finesse and off of big, okay? I think right now in fishing, your small baits and big baits are high kind of percentage lures. Your small baits catch more fish, get the fish to bite, okay? Yes, but your big baits draw them and also can get fish to bite, okay? From a recent fishing trip, this guy caught him, guys, 47-degree water. My spoon that I love to throw caught him, deep fish, clear water. They wouldn't eat the finesse bait that day, okay? So let's start off with the finesse bait. It's hard. I really wanted to pick a shaky head, but I'm going more with a finesse swim bait right now. Now this is a straight tail, okay? This is Strike King 3Z2 smoky shad color, but guys, I have it. Look, a whole bag of finesse swim baits. Another one lately, Megabass Hasdong shad. This is the 3-inch size, okay? I got so many in here. Another one that's, like I said, consider a swim bait, finesse swim bait, is the freeloader, okay? This is on the Core Tackle Tush hook, okay? I don't have my hover rig out right now, but I've caught fish with the hover rig with this freeloader as well, okay? So I'm going to go with that lure one, the finesse one. And guys, before this year, I would have never, I was not throwing finesse swim baits, but right now, during the waters I've been fishing, it's been working for me, been high percentage catch baits, and it's been fun, okay? Been throwing them on spinning rods, like I said, right here. This is a 7 foot, what, medium heavy spinning rod, okay? I got a 7.2 over here as well. So guys, a finesse swim bait is one. Like I said, I got other stuff in here, spunk shads. What's another one I got? I got that Hasdong shad. Oh, I've been throwing them also, it's over there right now. I can't get to it. The 6 Sense Divine swim bait, okay? Now, big baits. When you think of big baits, like look, big soft plastic swim bait right here. You think of big baits, think of glide baits like this one right here, and then also big spoon. I don't know if the Alabama rig, I'm looking at the Alabama rig, don't know if that's considered a big bait. I guess that's weird because it's like, it's illegal in some tournaments, not tournaments, and 3 hooks, 5 hooks, so I'm not even talking about that. But guys, for my big bait, it's a big flutter spoon, okay? So if I had 2 rods on the deck, it's going to be a finesse swim bait and then this big flutter spoon. The thing about the big flutter spoon, guys, is it does draw fish. It can catch as big fish, and it also will catch 2-pound fish as well. As on my recent fishing trip, and that fishing trip's going to come out on the channel this Friday, okay? But this dude right here, I've caught fish with it. I guess in this last year, if you watch the channel from May, I'll call it April, but May to now January, I've been catching fish on the flutter spoon. Variety of lakes, from your stained muddy lakes to a stained lake to clear lake and 50 foot of water. Something about the big baits. So, and guys, you know, here I go with the glide bait. The glide baits have just not had a high success rate for me on catching them. I don't know why. This guy has, okay? For some reason, this dude has. I have it right here behind me on this rod. There it is right there, okay? This is just the shad pattern one right now. These are the Dixie Jet. You see them right here, Dixie Jet Falcon. I throw that Talon as well, but the Falcon's been better for me lately. Been throwing the shad pattern in that clean water. Now, guys, what are your 2 lures? Now, let's say I was a co-angler. I'm not throwing that spoon if I'm in the back of the boat unless I got a dude up here that's kind of putting me in position, right? That finesse swim bait I can throw in the back of the boat. But other lures, like one that I would have if I'm in the back of the boat fishing as a co-angler, a jig is going to be one that I'm going to have. Okay, that's going to be, I guess, considered my big fish bait. I mean, this thing catches little fish too. And then another one could be a drop shot. It would probably be this shaky head if I was in the back of the boat, okay? Now, guys, though, but it depends on the water. Let's say I'm fishing like a river system, right? Or, you know, I'm fishing that stained water, grass, lily pads. I ain't going to have these 2 baits on the boat, right? But that's what's tough about this is, like, if you pick 2, what are the 2? So, guys, what are your 2? I mean, like I said, it could be a frog, right? Like I said, Texas rig creature bait, Texas rig worm. I don't know. I think this is a fun question. I heard it the other day on a podcast. The Juice Podcast is a podcast down there in South Texas with 2 young guys. I think they're about my age. Well, one's younger, the other one's about my age. Anyway, they brought it up and it had me thinking. So right now, that finesse swim bait, big spoon, are my 2 choices. What are yours?